and welcome to our final fabulous segment here on CityLine. I have an organization that is with me right now that I have known about for quite some time. I've watched some of the workshops they've had it here in our city. I've watched the healing and the reconciliation and the narrative that they have provided for people. And let me tell you, I am blown away by them. Please join me in welcoming the founder of Tacoma Cease Fire, Candace Wesley. Welcome to the comfy couch.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
This day will live in infamy. It reminds me of the time that I got to meet Marilyn Strickland, and it was when she had become a senator, and I got to meet her. I'm as excited about this as I can be. Thank you for being here. You brought with you this handsome man over here, because every woman, as I told him in the green room, is crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Mr. James Watson, you are the director of operations. You are the one that's making it work day in and day out with your team.
Thank you.
Welcome, my dear, to
Thank you.
CityLine. It's good to
be
have
here.
you here. All right, let's talk about this. So when we think about Miss Candace, what is Tacoma Cease Fire? If someone hears you on the phone and you go, yeah, Tacoma Cease Fire, out, and they walk up to you and go, what's Tacoma Cease Fire? What do you say?
Tacoma Cease Fire is an initiative that promotes community safety, violence reduction, violence awareness, firearm safety, family reunification, overall healing.
Yeah, and just now, your voice and the look in your eyes, I'm like, yes, what you just said is incredibly healing. I love this. So how did it come to be? And I'm going to start with you, and then James will have you pick up on that as well. I mean, what was that genesis, that aha moment for you when you went, I got to do something?
Tacoma Cease Fire was born through the lenses of a moment of frustration.
Okay.
Getting phone calls, seeing it on the news, a lot of my friends and community members losing their children to the hands of violence. And I just couldn't sleep. I prayed about it, and I just said, it has to stop. The racial and social injustices, the police killing us killing us.
Yes.
It had to stop. And so I just did a hashtag at the time that was popular, hashtag Ceasefire. And when I woke up in the morning, it had been shared hundreds of times. And I called one of my friends, and I wasn't expecting to start crying, but just in the middle of it, I just said, we have to come together. We have to come together, and I need you to call and dispatch every man from every community, every neighborhood in our city. And this is where we're going to meet. And the very next day we met. It was about 33 to 35 men that came together from each community. Everyone has a story, everyone has a backdrop. So from every backdrop that you can think of, it was represented in the room that day.
So I want to unpack that a little bit. 35 men.
Yes.
Why men and why not women, James?
Well, the Tacoma Cease Fire, the call to action was of such where the people that were involved, a lot of them had been incarcerated, had been a part of the problem, but it went on to change their lives and transform their lives, and now had jobs and families and kids of their own, that they didn't want to follow down the same path.
Exactly.
And so they made the conscious decision, despite the gang violence that was perpetrating, and still perpetrates our city, but these were gang members that had changed their lives. And so you have, Bloods, and you had Crips and BGDs, they all come together in one space for the love of Tacoma and ceasing fire, in our area. So it was a beautiful beautiful coming together meeting. And so that's what Tacoma Cease Fire is, an organic display of men, and then we have women, like I said, and Candace was at this meeting, was the sole woman.
Wow.
That was there. And I remember her wanting to, kind of pushing, you guys lead this. I'm just the organizer of it, but
Oh, no.
but they said, no, you are the one that this call and this mantle has fallen on. And so
That's right.
she's been gracious, amongst us, and has been just wonderful in her love for the community and as well as humanity.
Yeah, you're the one who was anointed to start this, sister. You know that. And what year was it that you stepped out in faith and did this?
I believe it was 2018 or 2019.
So, and then poof, the pandemic hits, and it felt like that everything that we had just exploded, that we threw a match on it, and suddenly unhoused, not being able to work, I don't have transportation to my job, who's going to watch my children, we have Manny Ellis, we have George Floyd, we have all of this going on. And how are we getting through that narrative? Candace?
We're navigating through that through the lenses of anger, hurt,
Yes.
a lot of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness. And granted, the moving parts was Manny Ellis and George Floyd, but I'd like to also lean in on several other community members
Yes.
that had fallen victim to this type of abuse, and it was undocumented. And so my first thought is home, always first. And so how do we navigate through that? First things first, we go straight to the front lines and deal with the issue, all the while trying not to be labeled or compartmentalized as the angry Black person as you're trying to be heard and disclose truth and expose truth, right? And so how do we do that? What was most important to me during that time is that we don't create a segue for more offenses to be created, for more lives to be taken, more people to be verbally and physically assaulted. There is a way that you can prove your point and push a hard line without offending someone else, without causing more harm with our words, and also without breaking the law. So we were trying to navigate through that, wanting to be heard, demanding to be heard, and being heard.
Yeah, flipping the table and saying it's time.
Yes.
Absolutely. So when we think, like for instance, this last Saturday, because it was 2 Saturdays ago, Pride. You had a workshop. Tell us about this workshop. I was signed up to be there, but I couldn't be there. But tell us about what I would have experienced if I would have shown up there as an advantaged white woman.
So we have been fortunate enough to partner with the City of Tacoma, the Tacoma Police Department, and the Tacoma Fire Department in regards to Tacoma's very first community trauma response team. And how that came to be is because Tacoma Cease Fire is and was always responding to trauma.
Yes.
Supporting community members, helping them to navigate through grief, and finding and providing resources as well to those impacted by violence. And so with that, we entered into contract for the community trauma response team. And so we had our first training on Saturday.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
And how did it go?
It went wonderful. I mean,
how many people?
I think we had right around it started off about 11?
Correct.
About 11 people that we had, and by the end of the training, they all got their little certificates, and people from all different backgrounds, and which is wonderful. And so we're excited about the groundbreaking of this community trauma response team that will respond to incidents of trauma once we're dispatched by Tacoma Police and Fire, because there's so much trauma going on in our city. And people need to be supported. They need to be emotionally supported, be financially supported. When families are displaced from fires or when there's a homicide and you have the people inside of the home that don't know what to do. They've lost a loved one. They're in shock.
Yeah.
And so we're there to just be that emotional support.
What makes the team elite is the diversity of it. People from all zip codes, walks of life. When people are impacted by trauma, it's important that they're able to look up at the responder and see some form of similarity.
Yeah, and to see something about them that, like, I can look in your eyes and recognize a look that I have in my eyes when we're talking about this. And they have to be able to go, yes, you can help me. So after this class, I'm sure there will be more. In this last 30 seconds, what will those 11 people be able to do?
They will be able to respond to trauma.
Okay.
They will be able to bring comfort.
Yes.
Be a sense of peace to the community as police and fire navigate the scene.
Right.
Our primary focus is our community, as not to contaminate an investigation or a crime scene. Our sole purpose is to bring a sense of comfort to our community as they start the journey towards healing.
You two you represent the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you so much for all that you have done, all the people we could not get on this couch, and all of the good work and the good trouble you're going to get into in the future. And I want you back on this couch soon, and you know I'll chase you.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much for being
Appreciate
here.
it.
Thank you.
That wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We've given you some great things to think about in this past hour, so please go out there, be a part of the tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Take care.
That's my home, yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Oh, and you're from the East Coast, oh, and you're from the West, oh, and you're from the middle, but Tacoma still the best. Oh, and you're from the East Coast, oh, and you're from the West, oh, and you're from the middle, but Tacoma still the best. Hey, Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn, Tacoma, that's my home, yeah, Tacoma.